Today, here's the sign. In this video, I'm gonna give the last reminder before you enter the SPM exam hall. And all the reminders that I'm going to tell later are based on my real personal experience in my SPM 2022 exam. So make sure you watch this video till the end so that you will know all the life-saving tips for your SPM exam. Alright, so don't forget to smash the like button below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's get started. Right, so there are total 8 reminders from me. The first thing, you should have a spare calculator with you. I strongly suggest you to bring an extra calculator with you before you enter the exam hall, because previously there are a few cases that students went into the exam hall and the calculator batteries ran out. So just in case anything happened on your own calculator, at least you will have an extra one to back up. But it doesn't mean that you have to purchase a new one. No, you definitely can borrow it from your siblings, your cousins, your juniors, or your teachers. Just borrow it from somewhere else. And when I sat for my SPM exam, I brought 3 calculators with me. I just borrowed it from my siblings. And my personal habit is that I will prepare an extra set of stationery. For example, the short ruler, long ruler, compass, protractor, eraser, so on and so forth. I will always bring an extra set of that. So the second thing, whenever you turn on your calculator, the first thing that you have to do is to reset your calculator. Just in case your calculator stays in radian mode instead of degree mode, and you're not conscious about that, then you'll come out with a wrong answer if you do your calculation in degree or your calculator is in radian mode. So try your very best to get used to this. Whenever you turn on your calculator, reset before anything. Alright, so the third thing, this reminder is extremely important. Listen, don't be shy to ask. Whenever you have any inquiries or any questions, ask directly. Raise up your hand, ask politely. Because I found that a lot of students, whenever they have any question, they will look around, seem like nobody's having this kind of inquiries. So they will start to think like, is it only me having these questions? Is it my problem? And you start to make your own assumption. Stop doing that. Whenever you have any inquiries, raise up your hand and ask. Even though you ask a foolish question. So what? You are a candidate. You have the right to do so. If you don't ask the foolish question, then you will make a foolish mistake and you will be the one who will suffer. But remember to ask politely. Even though worst come to worst, the examiner answer you in a bad tone, so what? You get the answer you want, you get the information you want, and most probably after SPM exam, you're not going to meet the examiner anymore. So for example, this is what really happened on me in my SPM 2022 exam last year. During my practical paper, my Amali, for most of the papers, my personal information like Angka Giliran, Pusat, and my QR code already printed on the paper. So the only thing we have to do is to check whether the information is correct or not. But then for Amali paper, it's not like that. Instead, we have to write down the Angka Giliran, those things ourselves. So when we were instructed to do so, I'm not sure whether I have to use pen or pencil to write down my personal information. So I raise my hand and ask the examiner politely. The examiner also not sure. So one of the examiners go out to ask for somebody else and then get back to us after a while. So from here you can see that even the examiner themselves, they won't make their own assumption, not to mention us as a candidate. Don't ever make your own assumption. Don't think like, normally we use our pen to write down our personal information, blah blah blah. Rules can change. And I want to remind you that the rules can minorly change every year. Because for my SPM 2022 batch, our rules minorly different as my 2021 seniors. Okay, so the fourth thing is that when you're in the exam hall and after you get a paper, and when you were instructed to open and check the paper page by page, remember to check whether your paper are well stapled. Because what really happened on me last year is that for my SPM mathematics paper, the staple already came out, and then the math paper is quite thick. So I raised my hand to make a request to restaple my exam paper. Because the math paper is quite thick, so we need a large staple machine to staple the paper. So they go and get the machine, and when they get back to us, the exam already started. They came to my place and tell me that they can restaple the paper for me, but then I make another request politely, which is I wish to restaple my paper after the exam ended. If else it will be time wasting. So again, don't be shy to make a request. During exam, you really have to prioritize yourself because you are on your own. Okay, whenever you have anything, ask and request politely, and that will be fine. Alright, so the fifth thing is super simple, which is for the MCQ paper, the objective paper, we have to blacken the answer in the answer sheet, right? So I strongly suggest you to use the 2B exam grade pencil. Just for exam grade, they will be black enough so that it can be easily scanned by the machine. Alright, so number 6 is that during your exam, take your meal as usual. For example, if you rarely drink coffee in your life up to now, then you better don't try to drink coffee during your exam period, because some people may feel uncomfortable or heavy headache when they first try coffee. But of course, if you get used to it and that's your daily routine, then go ahead. What I want to say is just take your meal as usual. Don't go and try on new things during the exam period, just in case your body can't get used to it. And another example will be, some people will find for something that is good for brain, for example walnuts, and they eat a lot, a bunch, and end up falling sick. So again, just take your meal as usual. If you want to eat walnut or that kind of things that is good for brain, you can, but just take a little bit. So number 7, it's super easy and it's super easy to be forget as well, which is bring your IC. Alright, so number 8 is about your AMALI, your practical exam. So for SPM 2023 candidates, you may stop watching this video since your AMALI exam is already over. And for the rest, SPM 2024, 25, 26 and so on, there's only one thing that I want to remind you, which is for your chemistry paper, if you're required to prepare a solution, after you have prepared that solution, you get the observation, and then don't throw the solution at first, because you may need it to carry out the following test, and the extra test that you have to carry out probably is another page. Don't throw it at first. When time's out, after you hang in the paper, you will be instructed to clean up the apparatus. Then only you throw the solution into the basin. Alright, so that's all for today. Don't forget to smash the like button below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm the Sun. Have a nice day.